So you have a unique entry into the hospitality world. Probably my first, and I'll let you share how you got into hospitality. Not really directly within hospitality, but close enough to hospitality. When you think of warmth, generosity, caring, like
the family business.
Yeah, like this definitely. Like, what was your entry into the world of hospitality?
So it began. I'm the fourth generation of funeral directors in Cleveland, Ohio, and so this obviously carries through my bloodline. It's the business. It's taking care of your community, really, is what it comes down to. And so hospitality is at the root of it, right? You're taking care of people when they're at their worst. And so you have to put yourself in an interesting position because you have to remove yourself and your ego and everything from the mix because it's not about you, it's about them. And kind of to dive into this for a moment, I've seen my father, who's an extremely proud man. I mean, extremely proud, a little bit of a temper, but I mean, a loving individual, a great father. But I'm saying not a problem standing up for what he believes in. I've seen him get just reamed by a guest for something or a customer or somebody we were taking care of for something that was not his fault at all. And I would say to him, how did you, when I was younger, how did you stand there? I mean, the way he blew up at you over nothing. He's like, because it's not about me and it's not about the moment. He's tired. He told me, think about it. Think about where he is. Did he sleep last night? He's at his lowest point. He's burying somebody he loved. He's got the weight of his family on him. Can he pay the bills for it?
Right.
We need to be there for them. And so kind of to carry it a little bit further, because I think that's what's going to be about tangents in these conversations, is what's amazing is then a lot of the details and how that matters, because in the end, it comes down to the trust. When you're talking about the funeral home, you're talking about a lot of things that people can't see. There's a lot of stuff behind the scenes that people just trust you. Some obvious, some not so obvious. So there was, I remember a moment when, so the cars needed to be cleaned perfectly. And I remember there was a moment one of the cars was a little bit dirty and it was a hearse and it was about to pull out of the garage. And I remember my father stopping the gentleman who was about to pull out and say, it's a little bit dirty. And the guy was like, and it was raining that day. And the guy was like, it's raining. No one's going to notice this or see this. This makes no sense. And to my father, that made no sense. In that split second when the door opens and it pulls out, that's the moment of trust. And sure, maybe no one will ever see it, but did it leave the line clean? Did it leave the garage ready to go? Can they trust us in all those details that they can see?
Yeah, it's the one that, I mean, when you're thinking about it, like that's a statement. I mean, it's in the event of a funeral, like that is like a symbolic moment, right? Of like, do we care about this person's like exit? You know?
Do we care about this person's exit? Are we taking care of all the details? So that was the start, and that was the beginning of my hospitality. But that also was the beginning of service. I saw it, right? That was the beginning of your name's on the building. Go pick up that tissue that you saw across the floor. How does that make somebody feel? So trust, service, and in the end, hospitality, right? A lot of people have their philosophies. I the student and the education of the great Danny Meyer, it's hospitality is how you feel. Yeah. So having the power to remove your ego and say, I'm going to be of service to somebody where they are right now, because it makes a difference on how they feel and I have more power in the moment. That was a foundation that stuck with me, that I carry through in multiple times when I find myself digging deep or throughout the years to not let go or kind of lose it for a moment because I knew I was right.
So the biggest things I'm pulling out of this is that the best way to get trust, or one of the good ways to get trust, is by showing people you care, right? And paying attention to the details and putting the effort in. If you put the effort in, it's a good way to earn trust, is one thing I'm hearing from you. The other thing is the importance that, reflecting back at your dad, just the value of empathy and the value of understanding where they're at. Like this in a normal circumstance might be irrational, but you gotta put yourself in their position. Like, where are they coming from? And at the end of the day, we're here to serve them, right? That's what matters. I mean, am I missing any other big takeaways, or is that kind of like the gist of it?
Incredible.
Thank you. Awesome.